I've cooked a new Time Shred Warlock list that's going to cut the underperforming Death Knight Taurus package, and it's going to lean more heavily into the Warlock Pain package. We're going to take a closer look at the changes to the deck, and then we're going to get into a couple of games and take a closer look at how the deck should be played. By cutting the bad Death Knight cards and a couple of other cards, we make room in the deck for the superior Pain package. This Pain package actually allows the deck the potential to create a more powerful board earlier in the game, and once we make those additions, we land on this honeypot of a list. General Mulligan for the deck. We're going to be looking to keep our 1-drop as well as 2-drop minions, with the one exception here being Fearless Flame Juggler. We're only going to want to keep this in specific situations. Up against Demon Hunter here, I'm expecting either Peddler Demon Hunter or maybe Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. I'm considering keeping this entire hand. I'm going to do it. Tachyon Barrage and Devious Coyote are a situational keep, but if our opponent's just hero powers on turn 1, then we're going to be able to Tachyon Barrage Devious Coyote on turn 1 with the coin. And we see that's exactly what's going to happen here. So we're going to be able to deal 6 and get a 5-3 in stealth on turn 1. So again, this is a conditional keep. You can only do this against certain classes, I think. Sometimes, if it's a class that's going to be putting minions on the board on turn 1, if that minion is going to have any more than 1 health, you can't do this because you can't guarantee at least 5 damage goes face to make the Devious Coyote free. But in this case, it ends up being pretty good. It's going to deal 5 playable card. We like that. So they can potentially go like Stinger, and Hero Power. Or I guess, yeah, Stinger, and Hero Power clears our board, but we're going to be getting down a 5-6 with a 7-7 right behind it. Other option would be to Paradox just to go wide. Is there any way that they can kill the 5-6? I guess if they have Location, they could remove 2 of these, so I'm going to say that the 5-6 is going to be better in this situation. They could play Location, and even without being able to open it up, they would be able to kill off 2 of our minions. And we see Xavius comes down. I think Xavius is going to mean that this would actually be a Peddler Demon Hunter. As long as they don't put a big taunt in our way, we should be in relatively good shape here. And we're able to go nice and wide if at any point we draw an entropic continuity. And we can see that we've actually just been able to overwhelm our opponent in the early game. Versus Hunter here, it's basically got to be Discover Hunter. And we're in a little bit of an interesting situation as far as the Mulligan. Do we want to keep both of these? And I think the answer to that is no. I'm going to toss the Whelp and keep the Zergling. If I had a dragon in hand, like say a Time Hopper, then I would definitely just keep the I would keep the Whelp. We're going to get down the Zerglings here. If a minion survives, we're just going to curse it, and then that potentially sets us up for a nice play the following turn with the Flame Juggler. Not sure if we trade here or not. Double 1/1s? Could even just Tachyon Barrage. If we Tachyon Barrage now, we set up the 7-7 for turn 4. We set up a Cursed Souvenir now. Then we have turn 3, 4-4 Flame Juggler, potentially. So I think I am going to trade for one of these 1/1s. Then I'm going to Cursed Souvenir here. If it survives, we've got a 2-mana 4-4. Hopefully we top deck another 1-drop. And if it dies, we'll probably just Tachyon Barrage. We're going to have to kill the scout. We can't afford to let this stay on the board. We do miss face damage, but that card is just too dangerous. The Devious Coyote, though, changes our play with the Tachyon Barrage, so I can actually take the trade. And we'll be able to get down this. So we clear our opponent's board, do a bunch of damage. 2 minions in play. And we're going to have the Flame Juggler for next turn, most likely. I think probably the most dangerous card that our opponent could get would be if they got just repeated taunts. The 2/4 taunts would be really bad for us. They discovered an extra copy, or if they have like Tidepool Pupil in hand, they can get extra copies. Outside of that, it kind of feels like we're in okay shape this game. And this isn't actually removing anything. Created Wild Pyromancer. Question will be, do we need to trade for it? Second Coyote. We do have Shreds of Time in the deck. We cannot do everything. It's possible, let's see. They definitely have one spell, but Pyromancer dies. We likely just push the 9. 4/4 and tap, or a 7/7. That's going to be the 7/7 every time. And we're going face here. The other thing I think that could save the Hunter in this situation is going to be the Grifta. Grifta heal 12, potentially be good. And if they actually hit like deal 3 and do 2 AoE, it clears our entire board, but that would be a pretty significant high roll from our opponent. They likely got one of the damages they wanted on the first choice because they quick picked. A little bit slower on the second one. Maybe gain armor could be good, draw a card could be good. And they trade. Gain 4 and freeze. And they actually freeze the small minions, so that's a bit of a misplay from our opponent. Top deck Velocidrake. It's going to be pretty good for us here. And we should be winning this game. Not sure what our opponent can do here. The dreaded Discover Hunter. Bob does extend the game. Potentially allows our opponent to be able to find something. What could they do? There's no way they can kill us if we tap, right? Flame Juggler, and maybe this is a little bit too greedy, too dangerous. What would we need? What would have to happen? Like 2 sets of taunts? And we can't get through them? Just going to get another minion on the board. We'll have the Entropic for next turn if we need it. Minion definitely more valuable here, but sometimes it's good to slow down, think about your play a little bit, what your opponent can do. They need taunts, and they need 2 sets of taunts. And even then, we'll be able to set them down low and potentially just top deck lethal here if they do hit 2 sets of taunts. If they had taunts in hand, they would have already been played by now, so I think that means we should be winning this game. But we'll see what they can come up with. They have... So they do have 2 sets of taunts. I don't know why they would have held this. Not sure if they actually were able to put the alien encounters in the tide pool, though. And they actually couldn't. They hit our big minion, which is unfortunate. It's also our lifesteal minion. So we have to be careful that we don't die here. Our opponent's at 13. It is just lethal, right? It is! I see a skull on my opponent's portrait. Against Rogue here, I don't think we want any of this. Again, likely we're just looking for our 1-cost minions and our 2-cost minions. Not super interested in the Fearless Flame Juggler in our opening hand, but we might be able to get some use out of it a little bit later. Probably we're just going to coin out the 4/4. Be a pretty strong play here. Other option, we could just coin out the Tachyon Barrage. Force our opponent to discard this card. But I think, honestly, I would rather just have the 4/4 in play. Also important to note that if we draw the Shreds of Time, that's probably going to be a good turn to play the Flame Juggler, just because it's going to be big for its mana cost. And the Eat the Imp tells us that this is going to be Cycle Rogue, so we're going to be looking to just kill our opponent as quickly as possible. Tachyon Barrage is going to actually make the Devious Coyote playable. So that's a pretty straightforward turn for us here. You can see that we're developing a pretty good-sized board early on. You can even play like a Cursed Souvenir, which will also damage our face at the beginning of a turn. And so now you can see this is just absolutely huge. And this is exactly why we're playing the Pain package. That's a 7/7, and then we're going to buff our entire board here. Send all damage face. Probably one of the better plays our opponent could make would be Dubious Purchase. Even if they hit our biggest minion, we still have lethal damage on the board. You can see here that it's actually just turn 3. This is kind of what the deck is all about. The Pain package really just allowing us to develop these insane boards early in the game. Pressure our opponent down before they can actually do what they want to do. You can see here our opponent still playing cards, trying to do something fancy here, but they're just not going to be able to do anything that's going to allow them to survive, I don't think. There's just no way they're going to be able to remove enough damage from the board to stay alive here. Even if only the 8/8 survived, we have the Cursed Souvenir to be able to make this an 11 attack minion. I think they're really just practicing their Cycle Rogue gameplay, and we're expecting to concede here at any time once the rope stops burning. And no help for our opponent. They do make a really nice turn 4 board, but as you can see, they're unable to beat our turn 3 board.
What's sharper, your wits or your blades?
My wits and my blades. 2 things that we learned. Number 1, if you're going to beat me in a game of Hearthstone, you're going to have to overcome these wits. Maybe check out a different internet service provider, and maybe you can get some better net decks. The other thing that we learned is that the Pain package does appear to be just a little bit better than the Death Knight Tourist package. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. For more content from me, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're just interested in more Warlock decks, be sure and check out the Warlock deck playlist on my YouTube channel.